Hello everyone, I'm Jacob Morse and welcome to this week's episode of Whether or Not. We have an exciting show for you which includes Nature in the News stories about the recent severe weather outbreak across Pennsylvania, as well as a story about how climate change is affecting our growing season. Mike Susko will also have a feature for you later in the show about our faculty members' research on tropical cyclones here in the Penn State Department of Meteorology. All that and more, Whether or Not, starts right now. Hello everyone and welcome into the show. I'm your host Jacob Morse.
I'm your forecaster, Jordyn Jenna.
So Jordyn, it was kind of chilly, especially at the first half of this week. We're going to see warmer temperatures as we head into the weekend.
So as we finish the rest of our work week, we will see a little bit of higher temperatures than around average. But with this weekend having more wet conditions, it will feel cooler, but our temperatures will be just around normal for this time of year.
Sounds good. Well, Jordyn will have all the details in her forecast coming up in a little bit. But first, here's Nature in the News. On this past Sunday evening and into early Monday morning, severe thunderstorms passed through the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, causing damage in some parts of the state due to straight-line winds, hail, and tornadoes. The severe weather threat for Sunday night was known several days in advance, as earlier last week, NOAA's Storm Prediction Center placed the majority of Pennsylvania under an enhanced risk of seeing severe weather. After a strong low-pressure system brought deadly severe storms to parts of Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama on Saturday, this system moved up into our area on Sunday night. A strong line of thunderstorms developed in Ohio and moved west to east across Pennsylvania between 6 p.m. on Sunday and 3 a.m. on Monday. All counties in Pennsylvania were under a tornado watch at some point during the night, and several tornado warnings were issued as the severe storms passed through. 9 tornadoes were confirmed by the National Weather Service offices across the state, including 2 EF2 tornadoes and 3 EF1 twisters. Golf ball-sized hail was observed in Erie County, and smaller hail was also seen in other parts of the state. By Monday morning, more than 56,000 people across Pennsylvania were without power. Since most of these severe storms impacted the state at night, this is a good reminder that we should all have a way of receiving weather alerts that can wake us up at night in the event of severe weather.
Spring is among us and people are beginning to prep their flower beds. The growing season is near as most of the country hopefully experience its last winter freeze. Depending on where you live, different plants subside in different regions across the country. Different climatic conditions are more susceptible for supporting growth for different species of plants, and the increasing temperatures globally are changing the range of which plants will be able to survive and where. Planting zones are beginning to shift to the north compared to the past growing seasons because of the human-induced climate change. Different species of plants will become extinct to the location they are initially conducive to growing in. The year's coldest average temperatures have been increasing. For example, in New York City, the annual lowest temperature has increased by more than 7 degrees. Additionally, around 70% of tree growing zones have already shifted towards the north. The changes in growing zones are just one characteristic of the bigger picture climate change has on our Earth.
2 rivers in Alaska have smashed records for their earliest spring ice breakup in about 100 years of record keeping after a recent mild and record-breaking warm spell. A large tripod is placed on the ice of the Tana River each winter in the town of Nenana, which is close to the city of Fairbanks. This tripod is used for climate records since the ice breakup at this location has been tracked for the longest period of any time out of any river in the United States. The earliest that ice has broken up at the Nenana River prior to this year was April 20th in both 1940 and 1998. And the ice breakup has occurred as late as May 20th in both 1964 as well as in 2013. Warmer than average temperatures for the first few months of 2019 are responsible for these record early ice breakups. Alaska had its warmest March on record, crushing the month's previous high mark set in 1965 by more than 3 degrees Fahrenheit. February was also much above average across the central and western parts of Alaska. The International Arctic Research Center at the University of Alaska says that the ice breakup at Nenana has trended earlier by about 5 days in recent decades, demonstrating how our changing climate is affecting Alaskan ice.
Severe weather outbreaks have been recently apparent not only in Pennsylvania, but across the country. This is not too uncommon for the month of April. Last weekend, severe weather stretched from Texas all the way up along the East Coast. These severe weather events consisted of 66 tornadoes being found and recorded. This upcoming holiday weekend will also have a pretty strong weather system moving through, but that does not necessarily mean a severe weather event will occur in our area. Most of this severe weather is directly inducive to the location of the jet stream. When the jet stream is more southerly and extends to the east along the coast, there is a chance for severe weather to occur. Next week has a bit of a different story when the jet stream flips in comparison to this past week's jet stream pattern, located more northward for next week. When this jet stream pattern flips for next week, the threat for severe conditions will dwindle, leaving a smaller possibility for severe thunderstorms and tornadoes in the country. I'm student meteorologist Jenna joining you for this weekend's forecast, and I hope you enjoy those spring showers because we are beginning to see a lot of it for this holiday weekend. This low pressure system really dominates our area for the bulk of our weekend, leaving us with a lot of rain, especially on Friday, so heavy rain conditions, a lot of cloud cover. It's not that much of a different story on Saturday. We still see that rain in our area. Low pressure system moving more towards the south, but there's a little bit of hope for us with that sunny weather more out towards the west. And for Sunday, we still have that low pressure system, but it moves more north and our rain conditions begin to move more off the coast. And we do have that opportunity to see more sunshine as we head into Sunday evening, ending our Easter with maybe some fair conditions for our area. So for your temperature high on Friday, we have a high of 68. That's 7 degrees above average to a little bit warmer weather, but do not forget that heavy rain, so you're going to want to grab an umbrella, and that is going to consist as we head into Friday overnight. There is the opportunity that you may hear a thunder roar through the night with some more rain associated with it. It's not that much of a different story for Saturday. Still showers are likely. That sunshine may peek through, but it's not guaranteed. As we head into Sunday, though, there's more of that opportunity to see some sunshine in the evening hours with isolated showers in the morning and early afternoon. Up next, Mike has a feature for you from our very own Penn State professor's research.
Mother Nature. Sometimes she is pleasant and shines bright. Sometimes she is cruel and destructive. Tropical cyclones and hurricanes are just one of the many types of weather phenomena Mother Nature has at her disposal, but they are one of the costliest. Numerous research projects are underway across the world looking into a tropical cyclone's structure and behavior. At the Penn State Department of Meteorology and Atmospheric Science, Dr. Anthony Didlake, an assistant professor of meteorology, has been studying tropical cyclones for years, even having the chance to fly into Hurricane Carl back in 2010.
So my whole goal is to try to understand the interaction between the microphysics and the dynamics of the hurricane. So I'm trying to understand the hurricane from a cloud processes point of view.
One cloud process Dr. Didlake examines is known as a secondary eye wall replacement cycle, a process that occurs when a storm sees a very vigorous change in storm intensity and size. One way to analyze this process is through observations collected from the storm.
The technology that we currently have gives us information about the wind structure and the microphysics. These are different radars that are either on the plane or in the land-based. So I depend heavily on the hurricane hunters to collect that data. I depend heavily on the regular NOAA operational radars. I also depend heavily on being able to run simulations, so numerical models using the weather research and forecast model. So I depend a lot on, of course, computational power as well.
Another tool for analyzing these storms is relatively new. Installed in 2012, radars across the United States received an upgrade featuring dual polarization. With this upgrade, radars can now provide scientists with information about a storm's vertical structure along with its horizontal structure.
And we've been able to take a lot of the dual polarization radar data to get a better understanding of the microphysics, the precipitation structure of tropical cyclones that has not been able to be able to observed in a tropical cyclone on a large scale before. So this is allowing us to look at the microphysics of a storm in a large scale for the first time.
With more upgrades come new data products to analyze and more questions for Dr. Didlake and his team to answer.
Well, we're still trying to analyze a lot of the aircraft data that have been collected by the hurricane hunters in the past 15, 20 years. So it takes a lot of effort to sift through the vast amounts of data, and it generally is not a very easy task. So there still is an opportunity to look at older data. At the same time, the hurricane hunters in NOAA, so we have two hurricane hunters. There's the Air Force and the NOAA hurricane hunters. The ones with the Doppler radar, they've recently upgraded their radar to have better sensitivity and better resolution. And so that's an opportunity in the future to get even more detailed information of the inner cores of tropical cyclones.
Tropical cyclone forecasts have been improving in accuracy and precision over the past few decades. Better supercomputers, higher resolution weather models, and better observations have all contributed to this improvement, but there is still more work to be done.
We still can improve in how well we forecast them. And so my research goes directly to that question.
If you are interested in learning more about Dr. Didlake's research, you can find information on his website located at the bottom of your screen. While hurricanes and tropical cyclones are capable of complete and utter destruction, it is their unfathomable power that continues to fascinate Dr. Didlake for all these years. For Whether or Not, I'm Mike Susko.
Now let's take a look at our extended forecast to recap this weekend. Friday is when we really begin to see those wet conditions. Will be very muddy outside for the bulk of our weekend. We'll have that heavy rain associated with that low pressure system moving into our area Friday. Check out 68 though, above average temperatures Friday. Heading into Saturday though, we still have some of those showers outside. It'll be 62 degrees, which is just around normal. And we head into Sunday when we do have that opportunity to see some sunshine heading into the evening, but there will be some wet conditions on Sunday as well here and there. As we check in our extended forecast, as we begin the beginning of our week next week, we see some more fair weather conditions with temperatures being above average. But as we head into the the end of our week, we'll see some more of those spring showers that we're used to this time of year on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, with our temperatures beginning to drop below average.
So I'm looking forward to those first couple weeks that you alluded to. That'll be the first couple days next week. That'll be dry after the plenty of rain that it looks like we'll be seeing for the weekend. How much rain do you think we can expect for Friday and Saturday?
So Friday we have the opportunity to reach to almost 1.5 inches or 1 inch around there. There is also the opportunity for some flooding Friday on the eastern part of Pennsylvania. So we may be experiencing that with that heavy rain associated with it.
So we're going to be getting a good chunk of rain this weekend, and that's kind of tied into our whiz quiz question that we asked you earlier in the show. It was, what is the record for the amount of rainfall to have fallen within one day in State College? Was it A, 4.55 inches, B, 5.05 inches, C, 6.42 inches, or D, 7.36 inches? If you answered B, 5.05 inches, you are tonight's winner. That's a lot of rain in one day for it to fall here in State College.
That is so much rain.
Luckily, we won't be seeing that much rain this weekend. I'm sure that caused a lot of flooding across the state when that happened.
Yeah, 1 inch is nowhere near 5 inches, so I'm glad to hear that, even though it'll be very wet this weekend, but we're not reaching anywhere close to 5 inches.
Yeah, you have definitely a weekend where you want to bring the rain gear out with you for the majority of the weekend to stay dry.
Yes.
All right, that's all the time we have for this week's episode of Whether or Not. I'm your host, Jacob Morse.
I'm your forecaster, Jordyn Jenna.
Have a good rest of your day, everyone.